Hi! We're not in school today, but I'm so happy to have this opportunity to prepare together with you for Yom Kippur while you are at home. Yom Kippur is one of my favorite days of the year. It's a day that Hashem gives us a special gift, a gift called Teshuva. Hashem so badly wants to help us and encourage us to do Teshuva, to come back to being our best selves. Maybe one time you played archery and you took an arrow and you tried to get it to the target and you missed the target. Or maybe you were trying to play basketball and you were throwing the ball in the basket and you weren't concentrating very well and the ball went all the way, way off where the basket should have been for it to go in the basket. Or maybe another time you shot and it was very close, but it didn't go in. Sometimes when people think about the word Teshuva, about becoming better, they think, oh, does that mean that I'm bad? And the answer is no. We're all such good people who Hashem loves and believes in so much. When we think about the mistakes we've made, it comes from the word chet. And chet means to miss a target. For a basket, for a ball, to miss getting in the basket. For an arrow, to miss the target, to be a little bit off. And what we're doing during Aseret Yemei Teshuva today as we prepare for Yom Kippur, and especially on Yom Kippur, even children your age that are not yet fasting, we are trying to focus and concentrate to get that slam dunk, to get the ball in the basket, to get the arrow on the target. And Hashem promises us that if we make an effort and if we try, Hashem is there to help us. Hashem so badly wants us to return to our best selves. We're all human. We all make mistakes sometimes. Maybe we are not as patient as we should be with our little sister or brother. Maybe when our parent asks us to do something, we're not running to help in the best possible way. Maybe we sometimes lose our temper too quickly or aren't patient enough. And on Yom Kippur, as Yom Kippur is approaching as well, we're trying to look inside of ourselves and say, how can I come back? How can I get to that slam dunk? How can I get closer and closer to the target? What do I have to work on? And we need to think. We need to think about an area that maybe we weren't our best selves. And we want to be able to say it out loud and feel badly about it. And then make a plan how we can be better at it in the future. If we think about a cute little baby learning how to walk, I'm sure a lot of you might have little brothers and sisters who are at that age. They take a few steps when they're first learning how to walk, and then they might fall. But what do? We say, hooray, and we clap for them, and we're so excited for them that they're learning how to walk and that they started taking those steps in the right direction. Even though we're not babies, even for grown-ups, our job is to try to take steps in the right direction, to try to focus on getting that slam dunk, on getting the ball in the basket, on focusing to be closer on target, to be our best selves. And if we take little steps along the way, that will help us continue to develop and grow, and as we get older and older, to try to become greater and greater people. Little steps at a time. Today I'm going to try to remember to make a bracha every time before I eat food. Today I'm going to call my grandmother and wish her a good Yom Tov. And little steps along the way can really help us reach great heights. I saw something very interesting online that was recorded on Aish, and then I looked it up to research it a little more. It was about how does a Chinese bamboo grow? Because Chinese bamboos grow as tall as buildings. They could be 90 feet high. And what I learned was that they start off as a seed about the size of a walnut, and it's put in the ground. And every single day for 5 years, that little seed needs to be watered every single day. But if you go look at where you planted it and where you're watering it, it seems that you won't see a thing for 5 years. You might think, what's going on? I'm working so hard. I'm taking the steps to water the seed. Nothing's happening. And then, after 5 years of watering the seed every day, it takes just 6 weeks for this bamboo to shoot up as tall as a 90-foot building. So you might think, well, how long does it take a bamboo tree, Chinese bamboo tree, to grow 90 feet? Somebody might say, 6 weeks, that's when we can see it growing. But really, the answer is that it takes much more than 6 weeks, because it takes 5 years and 6 weeks, because that little action every day of taking little steps of watering the plant is what helps yield the growth after those 5 years. And every single day we want to take little steps. And especially today on Erev Yom Kippur and tomorrow on Yom Kippur, we want to take little steps to come close to being our best selves, to being close to Hashem, to being as helpful as we can around our house, to our parents, to our siblings, to our grandparents, to aunts and uncles. And then by taking small steps each day, we will grow. You might not be able to see the growth on the outside. We might not become 90 feet tall, but we will be growing as people and becoming closer and closer to Hashem. And we say in davening every day in Shemona Esrei, Harotzeh b'tshuva. Hashem very much wants us to do tshuva and is waiting for us to do tshuva. And I read a story that I want to share with you that I heard from Rabbi Frand about a boy that finished high school, and his dad said, Dave, it's time for you to start college. And Dave said, Dad, I feel like traveling the world. I feel like trying so many new things. And Dad said, Dave, it's time to start college. And Dave said, Dad, but I really want to take a break and I want to travel the world. And Dave's father was very tough. This is a make-believe story, by the way, but we can learn something from it. And Dave's father said, Dave, if you don't start college right away, you are not welcome in our home ever again. And so Dave left home, and his first stop was California. He said, I've waited so long to pick grapes in California. This is going to be so much fun. And he spent 3 months picking grapes in California. And then he said, another big dream of mine has been to go scuba diving. And then he traveled all the way to Hawaii, and he spent 4 months scuba diving. And then he said, I really wanted to learn how to build buildings. And he went to Nevada, and he was building buildings in Nevada. And he was trying lots of different things. And soon his money started running out, and he said, I think I better get a job. And he tried to pick up some odd jobs along the way. And after 2 years passed, Dave said, I'm missing home. I'm ready to settle in. But my dad told me that I can't come home. And so Dave took out a pen and a paper. He didn't send it on a text or a WhatsApp or an email, and he mailed a letter home to his parents in which he wrote, I know you were very upset at me when I left. If you're ready for me to come home and you're willing to let me come home, I really want to come home. So you know, outside of our house in Pennsylvania, where the apple tree is, well, the train that I'm going to take home after I come back east, it's going to pass by, the tracks pass by that tree. And if you tie a white towel around the tree, Dave wrote in the letter, then I'll know that I can come home. Dave mailed the letter, and he spent a lot of time getting closer and closer to home until he got on that train. Dave was sitting near a stranger on the train, and he looked at the stranger about 3 hours into the ride and said, "Could you do me a favor?" He said, "Sure." "Could you help me?" "Sure." "In just a few minutes, we're going to get to a spot where there's going to be an apple tree. And I'm really wondering if there's going to be a white towel tied around that tree. If there is, I'm going to be so, so happy. But I'm so nervous that maybe it won't be tied around the tree that I'm just going to cover my eyes for the next few minutes on the train. And I'm not going to look. And when we pass by, could you please, please tell me if there was a white towel tied around the tree?" And the man said, "Sure." And Dave sat there with his eyes covered. And they traveled. And they traveled some more. And then the man is sitting next to him said, Dave, I have great news for you. I have great news for you. There's a white towel tied around the tree." Dave headed back home. He got off at the next stop. And when he saw that towel, he knew that his parents were lovingly, lovingly waiting for him. Hashem never tells us that we can't come home. Hashem is always waiting for us, helping us improve our shot, getting that ball into the basket, getting one slam dunk after another to grow one step at a time to become our best selves. Well, we sent home for you on the email that came with this video are categories of 3 different sets of cards. Some of the cards say how I can help around my house. Some of the cards say how I can help around the community. Some of the cards say how I can help myself prepare for Yom Kippur. And some of the cards are blank, which you could fill in yourself. Take a few minutes today, maximize on the day, look at the cards and see some of them that will help you take small steps to get that slam dunk in, to shoot the basket, to shoot the ball into the basket. As we approach this day, one of my favorite days, Yom Kippur, when Hashem gives us a chance again and again and again, even though we fall sometimes, even though we make mistakes, and even though we'll make mistakes again, Hashem says, I love you, I'm here for you, and I want to help you become your best self. I'd like to wish all of you a Gemar Chatima Tova. I hope you look for lots of ways tomorrow when your parents are fasting to be as helpful as you can. And please know that I wish you the best year ever. Shana Tova, Gemar Chatima Tova, and a meaningful and wonderful Yom Kippur.